G'day guys, welcome back. Come with us as we turn our 12-volt setup into the ultimate touring setup in our Ranger.
So we're in the back of the Ranger and we are finally going to fix and sort out our 12-volt system. So we've already changed to a lithium battery and we've obviously got the charger on top as well. This was just for our last little trip that we just did. I only kind of just jerry-rigged it together. It's not properly done up at all or anything, but we finally bought some new stuff to make this 12-volt into an ultimate 12-volt setup instead of just an average 12-volt setup. So we've got some new goodies, a proper switch panel, and some very fancy Hardkorr lights. So we're going to be using these between the 2 cars, or probably between the 3 cars actually. And then we've got a new switchboard that we can wire everything into, and then a nice fuse holder, which I'm quite excited about to fit. So not 12-volt related, but we also got a shovel mount as well, and a couple other little goodies that I haven't grabbed, just to tidy up everything, make this more of a tour-ready car. As in a week, we're heading off to Exmouth. And as you might see throughout the video, the front end is currently completely disassembled. So our plan is we're gonna have all our switches here. You're probably not gonna be able to see very nice because it's so bright right now, but we're gonna put the panel there, and then we're gonna put the fuses somewhere around here as well, just so it looks nice. So it's pretty much gonna go like here somewhere. We could go sideways, but I wanna actually add a little wall in here, just to like kind of make it look a bit nicer and a little bit tidier. That way, when we finally get around to actually getting an inverter, we can just stick it in here and it's nice and out of the way. You use a little level up on my phone just to get this line here perfectly level, which as you can see, it's flat. Now I'm just gonna get another one to go down here. That'll be level. And then all I gotta do is just measure from in there. Just gonna use some circular saw bits in the corners and then just a jigsaw to go through. So I'll pretty much smash that out now. Here we are, she's perfectly level, like perfectly level. And then I pretty much got my measurements all right, which I'm actually pretty surprised with. I did scratch it a little bit when I was trying to sand it, but it is what it is. So we've already got a little grommet down in here where we run the wires through. Nice and easy. What I'm doing here is just making it so there's only 1 ground instead of the 2. So I'll just be joining these together, putting some solder on it, and then joining it to this cable here, and then have it go like a little bit far away. Just, it'll be overkill, like too much, but I'm better off wasting some than not having enough. That's our current fridge situation. It's very interesting. So we should plug it to something. I haven't touched this, by the way, really at all. So pretty much everything back here, I haven't really done. So probably dodgy as. So I am just dismantling everything that we haven't put in here. The last bit is just this switch little power bank up here, which is very heavily duty wired in for some reason. This here is the cables directly from the battery. Nice and easy, quick as Anderson plug. Perfect. Pretty sure that one's ground with a red stripe. That in fact is ground with a red stripe. Nice and easy on the ground spot. So that's the Anderson plug done. So that's what connects up from the battery to the DC-DC charger, which I don't think I actually showed you. It's just an XTM one, nice and cheap one from BCF. That'll do the job for now. So I check world if you hear this. No, seriously. Next up, I'm just gonna actually get rid of this stuff here. These here would be the lights to this, I believe. I'm gonna check that. I'm just gonna run power straight to them and make sure it is these lights. And then we're gonna put this here, up here, right next to the battery, so that we can monitor everything. It'll be probably go this side. But yeah, so that we can monitor everything. And this setting's actually quite cool because it's got little sensors when a fuse blows. But yeah, we're gonna wire this straight in. Right now, you guys can probably tell that lighting is pretty shitty, and even in some of our videos. That's why we're really excited with those Hardkorr lights. See how they go. At the moment, we're just using a King's tripod type light. This thing's actually really good. We thought it was gonna be average, but it's actually really, really good. I've been using it. I've been doing quite a few late nights and it's great. And the battery actually lasts in it. But yeah, we want something more permanent so that we have this as the portable light and then stuff actually around the car that's not hooked up to the main battery. It's hooked up to the secondary battery because we've been caught out before with that. We're changing these lights. Well, for one, Hardkorr, we've heard are really, really good. And for two, they've actually damaged the drawers a little bit, as you can see here. We had a dinner break. It's now way later at night. So I've cleared everything up here. And the plan is to have it up here. But yeah, that's pretty much what it's going to be. The setup is still going to be the same here with the box and as well as the battery on top with the same tie downs and everything. Pretty much just all I'm up to now is just going to put some screws in, self-tap screws in here. So I've got this grey cable, which is I'm going to use as my grounds, and purple are going to be all my positives. I don't have red, so purple will do. That's going to run from the battery to the fuses all the way to the switches, and then from the switches it'll then run to whatever we're powering up, which will be the lights. In the future it'll be like an air compressor, it'll be water, it'll be all that type of stuff in the future. So this is where it gets confusing. So I've got 9 cables here. This is to replace the power inlet from the battery, which is going to be fused before it gets to here, because I don't want each system running off of only 3 fuses, because the way that these are wired from whatever company this is through, they only run 3 fuses and the rest is just, you just have this outlet. So this would normally go directly to battery, and then this is your illumination, and then they've got it linked all together. So if this fuse pops, you won't have this or this because it's all linked together. So I don't want that. I want completely separate for everything. This switch have its own fuse, this switch have its own fuse. That's pretty much just what I'm doing, making sure everything has its own fuse so that if something's wrong, you can pinpoint it straight away. And that's what this harness is for. So it looks confusing because it's all the same color as well. But if we ever have issues with it, we'll just pull it all apart. Now I'm gonna get some conduit to wrap around this to make sure that it doesn't rub, but we're gonna feed it back through and feed it over to where the fuse holder is, which we will show you in a little bit. Had to pull it back out again because I forgot to run it through where I'm running it. So 3rd time's the charm, I reckon.
Hello guys, I am here, just been behind the camera this whole time. I'm going to pull this wire through in a second when Riley's ready.
Yep.
Yep.
Hold on. Yep. Then gently. Yep. Keep going. Yeah.
Oh, still heat.
Because I can pull it back through. Okay.
Perfect. That is where we're going to leave it tonight. We will catch you back in the morning and we will hopefully get this thing finished off tomorrow, as we still have a lot of work to do mechanically wise, and only a week until we head out the Exmouth. So fingers crossed, but good night.
Alrighty guys, hopefully you can see this all right. So this is our little fuse panel, and then this is the harness we've got. If you want to know how to make sure which wire is which, the easiest way to do it is just continuity tests. So just this end and the other end, and then you find what wire is what. In this case, it doesn't really matter for me because I haven't actually wired any of these purple cables in. So everything's just going to be labeled as is. I'm going to be running it to these screw bits, and I'm going to be using these nice and little yellow bits. So that is what I'm up to now. We've got a really nice cover that goes over this as well. As simple as just running cables on the top and then bottom, and then down, straight down from in here, we'll be going down there. The ground's gonna be going to one of these grounds here, which is nice and easy. Yeah, that's literally all we have to do for it. Perfect. And I'll do this for all 6 of them. That there is pretty much the setup.
Good morning, guys. It is finally time to open up our Hardkorr LED lights. I'm very excited to open these up. So we got the 6-bar kit. Retails for about $2.69. We picked this up from BCF. So let's get into it and have a look what we actually have in this kit. Pretty good value, because when you look at all the pieces individually, it does add up. So I think you definitely get a pretty good deal when you buy it in the kit like this. Here you go. It does come in this really nice hard case if you're traveling with them not hard mounted. So that's pretty good. So if you're just using them on awnings or whatever you're using it on, that's not hard mounted. That's a good little case to have. So in this kit, it comes with 2 different sizes. Comes with 2 25cm ones. These are really nice quality. And then 4 45s, which are the bigger size. And then there is like 100 one as well. I think there's a couple other sizes that you can get. So the other thing is, like, if this wasn't enough for us, we could go out and just get some more lights individually. All right, we're back again. It's night again. I'm sorry, this video probably seems like it's a little bit all over the place, but we're just trying to squeeze everything in between everything else that's going on in our lives. So, but we are going to sort of actually have a look at these lights and see how good they are and sort of work out how and where we're going to put them.
We did have to get some double-sided tape because we didn't read the box properly, and it does say does not come with flush mounts, and no one sells them. You have to get them directly through them or like online companies.
Be mindful of that, because if you are planning on using them, you need to order them. They do have express shipping, but their shipping is also really expensive. We're not sure what's going on with that.
It's very expensive. It costs 3 times the product.
It potentially could have got here in time, but it wasn't worth the cost. It would have cost like 3 times the amount of the product to just get here. Anyway, so I picked up some of this Gorilla mounting tape and we're going to test that out. But yeah, we're going to use this to attach the lights, and then we'll probably look at getting some of the proper mounts
at some point
through someone else at some point. But it also depends where we're going to put them, because they're obviously screw mounts. So if we end up going flash into the roof of the canopy, we can't obviously screw into it. But if we go into the sides, anyway, that's what we're going to work out now, is where we're actually going to put these lights and test them out.
But yeah, let's go see how bright they are. I'll turn off all the lights and we'll have a look. So as you can see, it is completely dark. Ooh. That's just the orange light. That's actually quite nice. That's just one light too. So we've got settings. Where are we? That's really bright. Wow. And it goes brighter. That's all way. So nice and dim. And then bright as. And we got white. Nice and dim. Or scary stories.
It's like a warm white.
Like a warm white. And then back to yellow. So that's not bad. It's actually a lot brighter than I thought they were going to be.
All right, now that we've worked out where these lights are going, we're going to clean down the areas where we're planning on sticking it, because obviously we want it to stick good. So the plan is we're going to use 2 45s on this side and then 1 45 on the other side. All right, time to get these lights on. So we've decided that we're going to put them here either side of the canopy, so that, say, if we're filming from this side, we can have this light on, or if we're standing on this side, we can have this light on, so that we don't have like back light or straight overhead like it's sort of in front of us. Best lighting to film. But so I'm just going to use our double-sided tape and stick it on. I need to make sure that I have the female side sticking out to the left, so that we can wire it up. I will say, I don't know if we've mentioned, these actually are magnetic. So if you're using them on a gazebo or awning or if your canopy is magnetic, that is obviously a cool feature, but obviously I wouldn't trust if you're hard mounting them just to use the magnetic feature. And then yeah, like we said, you can get the mounting clips for these. Put our tape off now. Female needs to be this side. I obviously don't want to try pull it off, but I reckon that's on there pretty good. So yeah, and then I'm gonna run the wiring through here, back up the middle, and then I think what we've decided, like I said, we're gonna do the switch panel for here, but obviously now that we've decided we want to have 2 lights that we can turn on and off at separate times, so we need to have 2 controllers. So we might do the other controller on this side, so we can have one for this side and one for that side. So that is the plan. We'll have to get some clips to manage all the wiring, try and make it neat as possible, but we'll get this other side up.
Alrighty guys, finally back. It's been an absolute mission. Got it tuned yesterday with all the issues that we were having, and that just took way longer than expected, but we're all sorted now. So back in the back now. So I've got all the cable run here. I've also got the fridge ground run there. I've just got some conduit to put on the positive, which is going to be run down there and in through with the others. Also gone and bought a couple cable mounts for it, so we can stick them on, run the cables properly. For some reason, Bunnings don't have normal P clamps, so I don't know, we just couldn't find them. So that's what we got. And yeah, so we're going to run these down now as well. Run the rest of everything down, and then go from there, see how we go. Pretty much just going to jump straight back into it. So the fuse is saying it's blown only when power is running through it. So now I've got all the switches on. They all say that they're blown. Just like that, perfect. So the way I can tell which one is the fridge, because I did it as the bottom one, is that one. So now all I've got to do is put a 15 amp fuse there and then the fridge should turn on. So we got a 15 amp, which is what Bushman recommends for their fridges. So we just put the fuse in. Nice and easy. You can see the fridge is spinning, hopefully. Regardless, you can see fridge lights on. I don't think this is straight.
I don't think so.
Alrighty guys, welcome back. Today I'm screwing in a screw. I can't even get it in the whole way. We got rained out last night, so we wanted to stay up very, very late, but we couldn't because it was bucketing down rain all last night. So we got a little bit stitched up. So now we leave tomorrow.
Not even tomorrow, in
a couple of hours, realistically. We're leaving at 2 in the morning. And we have got lots and lots to do.
Beautiful.
Perfect. So here's our little switch panel. We've ordered our back equipment, do a proper mount for it.
It's Hardkorr though.
Yeah, it's a Hardkorr mount, but we've ordered that, so it's not going to get here in time. So we just made something up. Looks dodgy as, and drilled a hole in the wrong spot. That's Imogen's mark. So that'll be it for now. The new mount fits in there perfectly anyway, so it doesn't really matter. This is just like this for this trip, and then we're going to mount it up. Well, we're going to connect it first and then mount it up. I've already ran the cables mostly on that side, so I'll show you that as well. And then get to making this side here. Mind the daylight gaps.
Yeah, it's really noticeable from this side, but when you go around to the other side, you don't really notice it as much. Or really at all, to be honest. It looks awesome. And then switch will be pushed in, and that's what it's going to look like. Obviously, from a distance, it doesn't look too bad, but when you look up close, it's a bit dodge. But the plate will cover all of that when those plates come. It should be here when we get back. So now we just need to do the exact same thing to the other side, and then it's pretty much just tidying everything up, and then we're done, which is great because we have a list of many other things to do before we can actually go.
So all of the cables on this side here have been run really nicely, all along the top, and then we've just got to sort out a couple more cables here, and then sort out this side, which is going to be run pretty much the exact same on these back screws. And then running the cables is all done. Nice and neat, nice out of the way, so nothing to get caught, nothing to get pulled, tangled, broken, rubbed, nothing. It's all perfect. We're in. So everything fits really snug. I didn't even actually check to see, make sure that this was gonna fit, but it actually fits with a gap, so pretty happy about that. This here all fits nicely down the back. Battery's on. Triple check that everything works now. Hopefully it does. Be a shame if it doesn't, but yeah, so this here is going to be the setup. So our plan with this solar panel is we're going to chuck it in right there, and we're going to put a little E-ring type thing. We're going to screw it into the board there. I'm going to screw it to the board the other side as well, and then run a strap around it just so it stays in place and doesn't move anywhere. Here it is, guys, all nice and finished. Make sure you stay tuned for the upcoming Exmouth episodes. There is a couple coming, and it is definitely not something you want to miss out on. Cheers for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.